All right, you're welcome to the video. So this video I'm going to show you how to quiet down your machine. A lot of times your machine is just very noisy, and most times it's the sound of iron rubbing on iron. So in this video I will show you the places that you have to touch up with grease and maybe tighten in order to make sure you have a quieter experience. The first thing I've done is I've taken out the two bolts, screws that hold my plate like you've seen. So then I'm going to remove my bobbin case, and then I'm going to take out the plates. And if you're a person that doesn't always take apart your machine, under here you would have a lot of balls of lint that and dust that the machine has collected over the years, like you can see here. So because of that, we're going to need to take all of that lint out first, and then we're going to need a brush so we can really get in there. If you have a foundation brush, that will be excellent as well for something like this, but a brush like what I'm using here would also be good. So you need to get in there and take out all of that. Now this is not going to help you reduce the noise, but it's going to help you nonetheless. So here you can see my grease. I'm going to grease these points. Now there's not really a bolt and a screw here, but what you have here is a point where iron and iron touch themselves all the time, and that can cause a lot of noise. So that's why you can see me applying grease on the teeth there, on the feed dog that I have, so that by the time the teeth there is rubbing on the plates, the grease would help you dampen some of that noise so it's not as loud. That's why you see me doing all of that. So when I'm done with that, I'm going to screw in put the screws back in the screws and attach my plates, and that's what you can see me doing here at this point. I'm screwing back the plates so that that would be done. So then I'll cover here up. Next step is we're going to need to open up these bolts that you see here. So if we open up this bolt, it's going to show us another point where iron rubs on iron, and this is another place that people don't open all of the time. And when you open it, you will see that although this machine is clean, but sometimes you can have a lot of lint here. So I'm going to take some time to blow air out of my mouth, compressed air, to remove some of the lint and then clean it up. So first of all, you see this point. This is the point where our needle, the iron holding our needle, goes up and down. So that's a point where iron rubs on iron. So I'm going to basically grease up that entire place really well, so that there'll be a lot of lubrication, and if we have a lot of grease there, it will dampen that noise. That, like, the whole point of the video is reducing the amount of noise we have on our machine. But yeah, so I'm going to attach back the plates that I have here. But another thing, besides just reducing noise, this is going to also help you with just general lubrication and making the machine run a bit better than it did before, because all the parts are greased up. So behind here, if you have this, you're going to loosen it up, and you're going to see a point where there's a lot of iron and iron rubbing against one another. So you see that point right there, that point where this iron is going up and down, that's the rectangular looking iron there, where you have the iron sliding in. I'm going to really attack that place with a lot of grease and so you see that I'm going to try and get a lot of grease in there. And then here we have iron rubbing on iron, that in a round motion. So this is another place that would potentially generate a lot of noise. We're going to hit it with some grease to help reduce some of that noise. And then we're going to close here up. Alright. And then, yeah, that passes. Everything there is well greased up. Next thing I'm going to do is all the other points where I cannot hit with my grease, that's inside here, all the connecting points, I'm going to use regular machine oil. I know a lot of you don't oil your machine, so use this opportunity to oil the points that your fingers can't get into, since we're not doing like heavy maintenance. And then I'm going to clean off the oil. This is an opportunity for those of you with dirty machines. This is an opportunity for you to clean up your machine. I'm going to take off the rope. I'm taking off the rope so that it will allow me to lay everything on its back, so we can see what's going on underneath. So yeah, it's still going to be dirty. This machine is not dirty compared to what most of you have, seriously. So I'm going to first clean that up. Then there's a point here, you see like a point where iron is sliding on iron, that long place there, and here the iron is spinning around in a circle. So these are places where a lot of noise is generated. Generally, I'm going to hit all of the points where we have those connecting points. So all the points where a screw is holding two irons together and they are touching, I'm going to apply a lot of grease. That's going to help us take away some of that noise. Now in this instance, I'm using hard grease, but if you have soft grease, it's okay as well. So the bobbin area, you can see I've taken out the bobbin. If you have dirty there, make sure you clean it as well, in order to take away all that dirt. Now on the shuttle that holds the bobbin, I've applied grease to the back. Now you know that this part is a part that spins around all of the time and is rubbing on iron. So yeah, hitting it with some grease is going to dampen some of the sound. Yep. So I'm going to simply put it back. See how I'm installing it. I'm using the screwdriver to help me lift it up and keep it, and place it on the 2 points you would have sticking out there. So then I'm going to come behind the bobbin shuttle area, and I'm going to hit all the round points where we have metal touching metal with some grease to help dampen it up. Now, like I said, this is a double-edged sword. Your machine will be quiet, but it will also be well lubricated. And why I prefer grease to oil is it lasts for a long time as opposed to oil, especially if you are using heavy grease like the one I'm using, but light grease will suffice as well. When you're done, your machine won't roll carelessly like it used to, won't spin as freely as it used to for the first couple of hours of using it, but by the time the grease settles in and enters all of the joints, everything will be back to normal. You would have a quieter and a smoother machine. Well, after you do this, keep using it for a couple of hours to feel a bit different, but give it some time and you end up with a perfect machine. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Do have a lovely day. Bye.